Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, the show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher, your host, featuring Chris McCarty. Coco taught us all to love. How do you sign R.I.P.? Good morning and welcome to the Wake.Show, everybody. My name is Chris Fisher, along with Chris McCarty. Welcome in our sponsor for the first 15 minutes, and that is Single Source Insurance. Good morning, Kimber, Matt, Nikki, my wife, Lauren, Danny. How are you? And before we get into the show today, ladies and gentlemen, Chris McCarty.
Club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. It was me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and we talk slow. You come over and start a conversation with just me, then trust me, I'll give it a chance. Then we'll put my hands, stop, put that in the middle of the jukebox, and we start to dance. And I was like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love isn't made for somebody like me. Coming down on my lead, I might be crazy, don't mind me. Said, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and pull that body on me. Coming down on my lead, coming down on my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. But though my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed ain't smelling like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Love with the shape of oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with the shape of oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body, oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body, every day discovering something brand new. Love with the shape of me, pistol and make the going begins. We're going out on a first date. You and me are 50, so go on and get in. Fill up a bag and I fill up a plane. We talked for hours and hours about the sweet in the shower. Your family was doing okay. I'm a tip in the taxi, kissing the backseat till the never made the radio play. I was like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love wasn't made for somebody like me. Coming down with a money, I might be crazy, don't mind me. Said, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and pull that body on me. Coming down with the money, coming down with the money. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. But though my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed ain't smelling like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Love with the shape of oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body, oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. Love with your body, oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body, every day discovering something brand new. Love with the shape of, come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby, come on. I'm in love with the shape of, come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby, come on. I'm in love with the shape of, I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride. I knew all that had me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride. I knew all that had me. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet too. But though my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed is smelling like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris McCarty. Well done. Thank you, sir. Let me set up your... Here we go. All right, there we go. Welcome to the Wake.Show. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares. We start the show and end the show with music every single day. And then we bob and weave in and out of the topics of the day. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Doing all right. Let me get you set up there. You're on your mark. And between Bob and the... there you go. A little bit over to your left, a little bit over your other left. There we go. Perfect. All right. Got some fun stuff to talk about today. An executive order signed yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that. And Oh, we'll take the reverb off. But man, woke up to the sad. Well, it was bittersweet news. I woke up, this morning. It was not easy to get up after Park and Rec last night, but found out that Coco died. Coco the gorilla, and my wife had texted to me, and that's what woke me up. It got me into work today. And on one hand, I was like, oh. On the other hand, I was like, oh, he was still alive. I didn't even know Coco was still around. Because I remember Coco from my childhood going back to the 80s. And come to find out, Coco the gorilla is 46 years old. 46 years old.
That's a long time.
And I don't know about you guys, but my memory, as soon as I think of Coco, I think of his kitten. I don't remember the kitten's name. I think I saw in the story it was A-Ball or something like that. I remember he had a kitten. And I just remember how enamored I was as a child. Yeah, that's why in the opening there I was like, Coco taught us all to love. How do you sign R.I.P.? Do you know the story behind? Does everybody know the story? Like Coco was taken to be, he was a test subject.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was taken to see. All right, let's see what we can, teach this primate. And we learned a lot of things about primates and about ourselves in the process. So we'll talk about that a little bit today as well. All right. Oh, let me show you this before we move on. Did you guys ever see this video? I'll play it, but without the audio coming up later on in the show. And it's Robin Williams going back and forth with Coco. It's a great video. All right. But on this day, Chris, or not on this day, every single day here in America and around the world, it's National Whatever Day, International Whatever Day, right? And
Yes.
Some of these things are absolutely ridiculous. So one had caught Chris's eyes today, and that is National Selfie Day.
Ugh. Gross.
I feel like National Selfie Day should be the day that nobody takes a selfie. Like National Selfie Day, we all agree not to be narcissistic for 5 seconds.
Man, I tell you what, how many times you roll up on somebody and they're just taking a picture of themselves. Me, I love me. It's all about me. Me.
I will say it has been I think it's been good. Okay, there's been some positives and negatives to this, okay? I think one of the positives is, Chris, before this last phase of humanity, it was people like you and I guess people like me that would get a chance to be the center of attention, right? And so what Facebook has done and social media has done is allowed everybody to become their own little like king in their world for short periods of time. So I do think there is some positive to that, but obviously there's some negative to that too. I think we probably all agree seems like a bigger downside than there is an upside to that right now. All right, so National Selfie Day. Do you remember your first selfie?
No, actually, I do. I was in Jamaica. I think it was 2011, and I was in a river. I was in Nyabingi, but Nyabingi basically is a spot where all the Rastafarians go from all over the world. They come in for I think it's like 2 weeks, and they keep the fire burning, and everyone's singing songs, and they're reading.
Do you have to be Rastafarian? Like if I grabbed a wig,
they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah, I'll start growing my hair.
And so I was. It's like one of those moments where I actually felt free. I was, I just wanted, it wasn't like I could post it. It was like one of those like cameras you take with you, and it was just a memory of me being free, and I didn't put it anywhere. So that was my first and only selfie I can think of. Man, I don't do that.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Selfies are just. They're just weird, man. It's a weird, like, I don't know.
You get a chance to pick your angle.
Yeah,
you get a chance to show the world, here's what I think I should look like to you.
And that's the thing, man. Like I don't know. I've had a couple run-ins with some females who, when you go on their Facebook or go on their Instagram, and it's just like pictures of them, it's just an indication that they think life is just about them, and you're gonna run into some problems. Versus like the ones who have pictures of just their children and things. Like it's kind of a pretty good balance. So that's what I look for.
Speaking of which, how's Molly? When was the last time you talked to her?
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I
stumbled across her Facebook Live last night.
I reached out to her the other day, just because she's going through some stuff, family stuff. So I was reaching out to make sure she's okay, and that's one of those things that's like it's. You can tell that we all have issues.
Hey, man, we all have our stuff.
And so, yeah, she's dealing with some personal stuff that's real, which you don't know about, which is why, I generally would be like, yeah, I know Molly too, but and we talk about it. I talk to her about it, just trying to get her off that, wean her off that. But
last night I'm at Park and Rec doing my thing, and I'm getting ready to post, hey, come out and join me. And I see that she's live, so I'm like, oh, you know what? She hops on here when we're live, so I'm going to do her. I'm going to click on her thing while she's live.
And what did you see?
She was just in the kitchen, looking right into the camera, like leaning over the counter, looking into the camera, and just all the comments were, "We love you, we love you. Can you do a spin?" Something like, can you, whatever. So I guess she was in the middle of one of her things. And I was like, I was like, hey, wait, looks like you're busy. Okay, I'm going back to work now. Bye.
Right. Yeah, she's like a lot of us, man, looking for love and looking for acceptance and looking for, we're all searching for something, we're all searching for something. So.
All right, today's also.
But I'll do a selfie with you since it's National Selfie Day. Let's do that.
Okay, there we go. Let me know.
So weird, dude, look at us.
Let me know. Let me know when you're ready for me to lean in. Okay.
All right, let me figure it out. There's a selfie mode, right?
Oh. Is that right? Wait, you just put it on the picture thing, and then you hit the little flip. Right, yeah, cool. That's the selfie mode. All right, so we're doing this right here.
Kids and stuff.
All right, here we go.
Selfie mode.
And there we go. It's also National Dump the Pump Day, so now we're gonna do. What are we gonna do for that?
Dump the pump.
Dump the pump. So this is supposed to be a National Day of not buying gas. Let's see.
Big shout out to my friend Jennifer Davis. She's going some very serious heart surgery. Her husband and I, Todd, have been friends for like almost 20 years. She's crazy healthy. We're actually gonna have Todd and Jennifer on the show at one point. Crazy healthy. And she had a heart attack, man, like 35. I mean, she's a girl who's always working out constantly. So it's a big eye opener. And so she's my prayers go to her. Thoughts go to her. I couldn't make it to the hospital today, which really is a bummer because we're planning on doing it and I want to be there for people. Of course, if I couldn't be there, there's some things that went down. And so here I am. But I want to just give a shout to them and love to them and have us all think positive thoughts on people that you don't know, but we are all in this together. So,
man. Well, positive thoughts going their way. Make sure you remind us, those of you that are watching right now, if you could set a reminder for noon or 11:59 and then post, hey, call Eric, and we'll have Eric on the show. We'll talk a little bit about the keto diet today, because today is my worst feeling day since I started this last Monday. So was it day 10, 11? And I woke up this morning. Now, granted, I had a gig until midnight. I didn't get home until 1. And I remember getting to bed by 2:30, so I had about 4 hours sleep. So yeah, that you can feel kind of lethargic. But I usually don't feel this way. I feel this way after a night of drinking until that time of the morning, and then trying to get up 4 hours later. But I didn't have an ounce of alcohol last night. So I'm assuming it's the keto diet. And Chris, up until this point,
yeah,
because I've been feeling good, right? I lost 9 pounds. Well, I got on the scale this morning, and I was up 1 pound. I was like, ugh. I was up 1 pound.
I tried to tell you about that yesterday. I said, try not to do it every day because you might get thrown off, but it's okay.
But I'm glad because I've been winging this diet since the beginning, right? And I've been reading and picking up a little bit here and there every day since. Well, over the last day, I've been reading how important it is, and I know Eric's going to get on and go, "What do you mean you've been reading? This is what I've been telling you." Now he's got the same. I give him the same voice I give my wife.
I was just about to say, is that your wife?
I think that's, if you're yelling at me, you all have the same voice.
Okay.
Good morning, Susan.
My girl, Susan. I know who that is. She was at my show last night.
Susan Wagner Muhammad.
Yep.
She says hello. Pat Largo. Fish, you look great, and your hair. Come on. Well, okay. All right. That's all you need, right? That's all you need.
Can you give Pat your wife voice? Read it like your wife. Give Pat your wife.
Fish, you look great, and your hair. Come on. So anyway, I don't feel good. I didn't feel good this morning. Get out of bed. It was very difficult getting out of bed this morning. And then I realized that what I've been doing over the past, say, 11 days is more Atkins than it is keto. I'm just keeping out all the carbs and sugars, and not being as meticulous as I should about my fat intake and protein, all that, your ratios.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is, I've been eating all my carbs in one moment and then stopping for the rest of the day, instead of saying a little carbs here, little carbs here, little carbs here.
Wow, I've done a really good job of keeping out almost all carbs and all sugars.
Right.
But what I've done is just been just eating. So like last night, I grabbed some roast beef, got from the Publix deli, which was delicious by itself. Put some cheese on it and ham, and then mayonnaise, and like eating it like this. Did the same thing this morning. That was my breakfast. So like I said, I'm keeping the carbs out, and I'm obviously I dropped 9 pounds, in a week. But I'm glad that I got on the scale this morning and saw that I did not drop another pound, because now those articles come rushing back of you need to be spot on with what you're doing here. So we'll talk to Eric coming up at about noon today.
But I will say this to you, as a human being, it makes sense. Like the first week you do hard, the second week's not as much, and then you have that moment of like, okay, how serious do I want to be? You got to up it, and then you just take it seriously, and you keep soaring. So no worries, man. It's just the ebb and flow.
I've also made a mental note of the 3-month mark, because when Danielle was in here on a Monday, and she is somebody who, my old radio show, has experienced plenty of my fad diets, said that I will be done with this and back to wherever in 3 months. Ooh. So I actually want to put that in my phone, so that in that 3-month mark, I can call her and go, screw you. Thank you so much for saying that, because it motivated me.
There you go. There you go. We need that. We need the doubters. We need the doubters.
I did it. And thank you so much for saying that I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. National Dump the Pump Day. So what do you think National Dump the Pump Day is, Chris?
I have no idea, dude.
On the third Thursday in June, National Dump the Pump encourages people to ride public transport. Okay, that's stupid.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let me sit next to some weirdo. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess if you're from another part, if you're from the city, if you're from New York, you're from somewhere, and you're used to this stuff, you think it's ridiculous. But when you're raised and you're independent, you get your own transportation when you're 16 years old. Right. The thought of sitting on a bus with somebody else and taking it five times longer to get wherever you're going. But I know it's important. It's something that we'll eventually, I'm sure, all segue into. But as far as this generation, ain't happening. National Arizona Day. I don't think we need a national day for Arizona.
Recognizes the state joined. Okay, got you. All right. I was thinking, what about National Florida Day?
Arizona is home to the oldest continuously inhabited settlement in North America, established around 1000 AD. Huh. Okay. Arizona, you deserve your own day.
Right.
The village of Old Oribi is located on the Hopi Indian Reservation in Navajo country. Also, that's right. It's summer.
Today, first day of summer.
Yeah, happy summer solstice, buddy.
I thought solstice was yesterday.
It might have been.
Yeah, it felt long. Yesterday felt forever.
What is
that? I'm just kidding.
June 21st. Yeah, so it was either today or yesterday. It always falls like right around now.
I can't stop thinking about my friend's Todd real quick, man. I can't. I gotta keep checking. Is everything okay? What's going?
Yeah, keep going. And if you need to pull out a song or something like that at some point too, or if you need to step out and do something, don't you know?
Yeah, all right, cool.
There's more important things than entertainment.
Life,
dude. I'm so envious in a positive way of my brother. One of my brothers, Ken, and his family. They're on vacation. And they are over in Europe right now, and I just saw them post pictures at Stonehenge.
Don't be envious. Envy is not good.
Oh, it's not envious in a way
you said envious.
I don't listen. The way I see words are relative, and the way I see envy is not the way that some desert dweller 6,000 years ago saw envy.
All right, so explain your envy. Explain it,
man. I was happy for them and wished I was there with them. Is all. Okay. That's it. Okay. I was happy. I was happy for them, and I wished I was there to share the moment, because not because I wanted to be with my family in Europe, because I wanted to be at Stonehenge. That's one of those things in my bucket list. And it would be cool to visit Stonehenge around this time of year.
I was motivated when I saw my brother in Stonehenge, and I decided to create that as a trip with my wife and I. And I'm so grateful that they saw that, and I'm so happy for them, and I can't wait to do the same thing and share the same experience.
Amen. There we go. All right, what's next? So do you think there's any power in today?
Yes, that's why I was saying, watch what you say, power of the tongue.
No, not power in the words. I'm talking about power in today. Like, is today the summer solstice, or if it was yesterday the summer solstice?
I understand.
Is it any a different day than any other day?
I don't know.
I was curious.
I think. Let me say this. I do think that as seasons change, things change. With us, we're all connected to the earth. So maybe there will be a shift, like you know what's going on with me personally, like Todd's having this surgery, his wife's having a surgery. That will always be different. You're like, oh, the pound's different now. You decided to make some different changes. I'm going through. I think we're all going through changes. So there could be something said by that. He just responded, yes.
All right. Now you relax a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on. Go ahead.
That's all right. Sorry. Yeah. It's also National Day of the Gong. National Day of the Gong honors and celebrates the gong's unique history. Oh, okay. It's very literal. I thought it was going to be something else. The gong's unique history. See, these days are so dumb. You're right, Chris. We need to highlight these every single day. Here we go. Here we go. How about this one?
I like this one.
How about this one? It's National Daylight Appreciation Day. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was just appreciation.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, Chris.
I got excited. And they're like, why are you so excited about the daylight? Well, that's cool. Let's talk about it.
Well, okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. Who went up in front of somebody and said, you know what? I don't think Americans appreciate daylight as much as they should. We should have a day to observe it. You know what, you sumbitch, you're right. We don't appreciate daylight enough. Take it for granted.
We do. I think we take a lot of things for granted, and maybe this could be something for us to talk about just today. Just think about like appreciation. I feel like most times when I'm happy is when I'm appreciating life, and I think that's all of us. So just the smallest amount, like appreciate that Joey's here, appreciate that you're here, appreciate that we have a job. Anyone who's watching, just the fact that they don't have to be watching, the fact that they are giving the time that they'll never get back. Time is the most valuable thing that we have, asset that we have that we don't really have, and we're losing it every second. And anyone who's watching right now, listening to us, whether it's to talk about rhetoric, talk about anything important, sing these songs, the fact that you're giving us that time we have to appreciate that. Like, thank you. It's so valuable, and you're choosing here, and which is part of the reason why Chris and I will drive so far and get here and sacrifice ourselves. I mean, like, we're not necessarily making money doing all this stuff. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for us.
And I would go call it sacrifices now.
I'll call it a sacrifice. Like,
it is
a sacrifice.
It is.
Where do you live?
I live a long ways away.
Thank you. That's a sacrifice, because you're getting a chance to do anything can happen on that road, brother. Anything.
So this day recognizes the summer solstice, the longest day of daylight in the northern hemisphere, and encourages people to celebrate the many benefits of the sun. So there you go. It's raining today in the Bay Area. We will celebrate the benefits of the sun later on when it clears up a little bit. Let's see, what else do we have before we go skateboarding day? There you go. Get outside and do that.
Yeah, my knees won't do that.
I was not a skateboarder, man. I wish I was a cool skate kid. I did not have the balance, the agility.
Yeah. I took a bad spill one time on the hill when I was trying to do, I think it was in 4th grade. I had like a mad, remember the mad character guy? I had that skateboard and I was going down a hill, and it was just cool. One of those wobble, fell, skid. Oh. This whole thing was shredded, and it was the last time I got on a skateboard.
I picked up a guitar and
I was like, this is not my thing.
Hey, what's that? What's that leaning in the corner? Is that a guitar? I will try that next.
You know what? The story about my guitar, I was 9 years old when I won a guitar. They had one of those expos, so it was in Gainesville, Florida, the O'Connell Center. All these different businesses were out, and we walked by the music place, and they had these drums, and I've always wanted to play the drums. So I'm a drummer at heart. And of course, in fashion, I just was looking at the drums, and I just put my name in, thinking I was going to win a drum. And they called me. They called me the next day, and I remember the conversation. I won the drums. They're like, no, you won a guitar. I was like, a guitar? And so I picked the guitar up. I was 9 years old, and it stayed in my closet for the next 6 years. I never touched it.
That's something.
And then one day we were at summer camp in North Carolina, and after every lunch, counselors would get together and play the guitars, and everyone sing. And I just love being involved. And I was like, I gotta be involved. I want to do that. I love music so much. So I picked up this book and read it, tried to figure out how to play, and I taught myself how to play. And the rest, they say, is history. So it's funny how the things that are for you can be right under your nose and you don't know it.
Yeah.
And so think about that, guys. Think about that.
All right, so we're going to go to Eric Stratman now. I'm going to thank you very much, Robbie Perry, because I didn't set an alarm and I would have forgotten. We would have blown right through it. So thank you very much, Robbie, for reminding me to call Eric. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
How are you, Mr. Stratman?
Eric. Guess you're going to be a little disappointed in our boy. I'm calling you out beforehand.
What? What? Disappointed?
Eric. Shake your head already, brother.
Eric, I've come a long. Eric, I've come a long way.
Lay it on me.
I've come a long way. So I guess what he's referencing is that I haven't been perfectly keto these first 10 days. I think I've been more Atkins than anything because I've just been very focused on making sure no carbs and no sugars are coming into my body. But I haven't done the best job. I haven't done a decent job
on his macros.
I haven't done a job of logging in my food and keeping track of the percentages. And it's only been over the past day that I've been reading more. And I've seen more and more how important it is to load all this stuff in. Not only do you have to have these ratios right, but you can't have these ratios stretch out over a day. The ratios, according to the stuff I've been reading, need to be right every single meal. Otherwise, you could have too many carbs in one meal, not enough this, and it throws you out of ketosis. So
there is some research with that, but to be honest, because your ratios, and I'll make sure I post this through both of our pages, but the ratios really want to be about 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. So it's really hard to go over on the carbohydrates at any meal because, if you've got 15 to 25 grams of carbohydrates allotted in your meal, that's not going to be too hard for you to, avoid. I mean, I think you're really on the right path of making sure that you're eating, mainly fat and protein, but it's important to make sure that, we put you in a position that you're adapting to this lifestyle. And we talked about that consistently. Average trumps seldom perfection all the time. And because you've been on the right track, you're already losing weight. So we can't really say it's wrong if, you're going the direction you want to go.
So John chimes in, ketosis or starvation. I'm not sure if I'm ketosis yet. I need to get those sticks to see if I'm even in ketosis. But I do know that this morning was the first day that I got on the scale and didn't lose any weight. So this is like day 11. And not only
that. So you're weighing yourself every day?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't help it. I've been losing so much. It feels good.
So this is the disadvantage of it, is because now, you can already see it, you can hear it in your voice, you can see it in your reaction, that you feel that dial down of, now it's not working, or now I'm not, because there's no way to know that how much fat you're losing, how much muscle you're gaining, where your water weight is. So that's why I always have people weigh and measure themselves once a week.
I tried to tell them that yesterday, Eric.
Wednesday mornings is when I do it, when I suggest people to do it. But once a week is the key, because, you're putting yourself under the same expectations each week, and you're doing it right upon rising. So you're not having to worry about having a different state, a different salt in your system, different amount of food. You're staying right along even keel.
All right. Well, so I will go to not weighing myself, except for Monday mornings from here on out. I will say that I think it was a positive this morning because it hit me at the same time that I was reading this other information, and I know it's all information that you've told me, you've beat it into my head, and but seeing it laid out in front of me by a doctor, it just kind of it registered finally. So I think I think that happening this morning was good because I was shooting from the hip and losing weight. But I know that ultimately keto is not like that. It's not just the Atkins diet where they don't care what kind of percentages you have, just don't eat carbs.
Right.
So, all right. So I think that'll be the beneficial moving forward. Hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Avocado. What's your favorite easiest way to prepare avocado? Easiest.
So you take the knife and you cut it in half.
And then just eat it with a spoon.
Put it in a spoon and you eat it. That's it.
I tried it with eggs. I was like, maybe I'll smush it in the bottom of the plate and I'll cook up my normal breakfast and put it all in there. It'll add some fat. I won't add cheese. I'll just and it was good, except it's too mushy. That it would have been great on toast. You know what I mean? Like crunchy toast.
Yeah. I like it diced. So just what you're saying. So when you cut that avocado in half and get the seed out of there, if you do that kind of checkerboard cut, do it long ways and then sideways, and then you scoop it on, then you have little bits, like chunks of avocado, not just like peanut butter avocado where it's smeared everywhere.
Can I ask you about the ratios and why is it important? Why is it important to have such high fat? When I did Atkins back in the late 90s, there was an emphasis on, it wasn't an emphasis on making sure you're just high fat. It was more like, hey, it's okay, eat as much fat as you want, but there was not a focus on you have to be 75% fat, 20% protein and 5% carbohydrates.
Well, it's good you bring up that point because a lot of people have the memory of Atkins and say, okay, well, I'm just going to do Atkins. And now that there's a lot of science behind what the people are seeing and where they're seeing blood sugar levels or, getting even more so on the other side of ketoacidosis, which is a condition most diabetics will suffer from, when your blood sugar is all out of whack, but not really something for the general pop to worry about. You're really looking at the side of mainly fat because that's what your body is creating all of your energy off of now. Even though 20% protein sounds very, very low, even for me, I'm doing a percentage of protein is still giving me, 170 grams of protein, 150 grams of protein. So it's not like you go, okay, well, I eat 2 slices of bacon, I'm over my protein. There's plenty of it there, but you're making sure you're getting plenty of fat in each meal, and the carbs should just be a subsidiary kind of everything you eat. Like maybe there's some in the nuts you eat or some in the, some of the other snacks you have, but also getting a good serving of green vegetables a couple of times a day is huge. And doing like kale chips for me or putting spinach in my omelet is where I'm getting mine. I'm not a big salad guy, but some people just love some salad and get after it.
All right.
So you're logging now, right?
Yep. So I know that's important. So I'm going to load in my couple slices of roast beef and cheese from this morning, and keep logging in my stuff. I'll only weigh my. I can't make any promises on the only weighing myself. Once a week. How
about this? We go to 3 times a week. From every day to 3 times a week. Then we'll go to 2 times a week, and then once a week.
All right. So like Monday.
But minimum once a week, you have to measure your hips, waist, and chest because we got to know what's changing there, because I want to know if you're losing weight but nothing's coming off your waist. I got to say, well, you're dehydrated and losing muscle. That's what that's going to tell me right off. It could be something else, but initially that's what it would be. Or if you're not losing weight but you're still losing inches, then I know you're gaining muscle and losing fat. So I mean, that's the important factor of what measuring yourself. I believe measuring is more important than even weighing, because who cares what the scale says? If you had the waist size you wanted and had the energy you wanted, do you really care what, if you're 250 pounds or 150 pounds? That's what really matters. When
I was, I told you I read some article, and it was a woman that, it was either a doctor or a nurse, and she had worked in a facility with kids with epilepsy, I believe it was. And that was it epilepsy? That this keto diet is, this is where it's been used the most, I guess, in medicine over the past 30, 40, 50 years or something like that, that somehow it helps kids. I want to, now I don't want to misrepresent it, but I think it was epilepsy. Did you ever hear something like that? Or?
It's a great point. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff done with kids with, not only is it epilepsy, but you'll see Alzheimer's is huge on it, as well as autism. So with autistic kids and autistic adults, what you're going to see is that this medium chain triglyceride, these MCTs, that, you're getting a lot of that fat in your diet, helps your brain function and kind of what we'll call neuroplasticity, where that, that communication, that connection stays alive. When you throw sugar in your system, you short circuit everything in your body. So that's where, we see a big change there. I'm even reaching out to some of my endurance friends. Nick Zivelich is one of them. You might know him.
I know Nick.
And seeing guys like that are high performance athletes with carbohydrates, but they're seeing that other parts of their body are breaking down and functionality of their body, and trying to say, well, hey, you can have this long, slow burning fuel or this short pop of sugar that our body's never meant to get that much in our gut, and that's where our gut health goes sideways, and we're not able to maintain normal function mentally or physically because we're constantly throwing this monkey wrench in of sugar.
And before I let you go, supplements. We haven't talked too much about whether or not what supplements I should be taking or not.
And I can put a link for you guys after this, but I'm hooking you guys up with the awesome folks at 10 Performance and 10 Institute. So we're going to get you on some exogenous ketones, and that sounds really cool and exotic, right? But all it means is that we're going to get you a mineral base, because you become mineral deficient when you first start a keto diet, because you're not getting the electrolytes that you normally would out of the carbohydrates, the fruits and vegetables that you'd be eating, a lot of. So we want you on that. That's a really big one. The other one that I suggest that they also carry is super, super cheap. It's called a Hydrocell. It's a mineral complex that you put in your water to make sure that you're getting the minerals that your body needs, but it also is a benefit to your body absorbing all of the nutrients you're taking in, and to help the process of ketosis. So when you're mineral deficient, your cells can't absorb the nutrients. When you're mineral enriched, you can process them and have a lot more energy. So that's going to go into your sleep and your performance, into your concentration, all those sides. So I'll definitely link that stuff up on the TNL Nutrition page, as well as tag you guys in it, so we can see the Wake.Show folks are getting their supplements on.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric Stratman, TNL Nutrition Coaching. You track him down on Facebook. I see you changed your handle there. You're at TNL Macros now, at TNL Macros.
Yeah, that's one of them. And you can do, but if you just find, if you do the TNL Nutrition Coaching, you find it. We're just trying to make it something short and sweet where people can find us, and maybe we'll go TNL Keto. Who knows?
All right.
You can get crazy.
Hey, Eric, got a question for you, man.
Yes, sir.
What music do you listen to when you, not when you're working out, but every morning we start the show with a song. I'm kind of curious, is there a song that you'd like to hear me do, or something, just something that, throw some songs out that you like.
To be honest, and I don't hold back that, I put my faith in the Lord above, and I listen to a lot of Christian contemporary music, but I mean, to tell you the truth, man, like, you get into some Skillet and 1,000-Foot Crutch, you're talking about some stuff that, is high speed, high energy. I'm not into the slow stuff, no matter, what the lyrics are, but, yeah, check that stuff out. But yeah, I want to, I'm glad you asked, but that's what gets me going in the morning, because it lifts me up, puts me in the place I need to be. So my mindset is more off of, just what I need from the flesh, but what, my life's really intended for.
Nice, man.
Well, then I'll say this to you, man, and I don't know if you get a chance. The song at the end is for you, brother. Since I know what you want, cool. I got one for you.
I'm going to stay on and watch.
Cool. It's for you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah.
All right, Eric, we'll talk to you.
First dedicated song.
Your boy.
We'll see you, Eric.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Hey, brother.
All right. That's Eric Stratman from TNL Nutrition Coaching. Track them down on Facebook. And follow along. They post recipes there as well. So do you have any Christian contemporary in your repertoire?
It's funny, man.
Was it like Jars of Clay, Flood?
No, it's funny. I've been approached by a couple of Christian churches about my song Castle. And I've had people be like, is this, a Christian song? I'm like, no, it's just a me song. But the song, I'm not even going to say the name of it, but you'll hear it. It's about God, man. It's great. It's not like about God, but it's about God. Like, you can kind of, it's art, so you can kind of make it, make it whatever you want to make it. But this song to me is, when I think about God, it's great. So
is there a line that jumps out to Christians in Castle? Is it a line, or is there multiple things in there? They're like, oh, he's definitely talking about God or Jesus.
Well, I think I say sometimes I think about what this life is all about, and everything I forgot when I got here. That what I'm talking about is reincarnation. And they say that you do this in remembrance of me, and they say that when you come back you forget everything. It's like amnesia. So sometimes I think about what this life is all about and everything I forgot when I got here. Sometimes I wonder if there's heaven, if there's hell. It's really hard to tell because it's not clear. So, and then, build yourself a new castle. And
Nikki says she loves Skillet, and that's who Eric just referenced, the band.
Cool.
All right. Nikki, how are you doing today? Well, now that we've got you on, we can talk Trump stuff. How's everybody feeling today? Everybody feeling okay today?
Can we just rock that song right now? And that just feels like it just kind of makes sense.
Sure.
All right, cool.
All right, go ahead.
Because I know Eric's probably got people and working out and stuff. So.
All right, so Eric, you got to get back to work, so he's going to go ahead and play that song for you right now, Eric.
Uh-oh.
Don't break anything.
Don't break anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, being a part of the Wake.Show, and thank you for the engagement in the comment sections. We really appreciate that. Comment section. We start the show and end the show with music. And sometimes it spontaneously happens right in the middle of the show.
Standing cold and scared on top of Blue Hill, there came one moment that I lost my will. I pray for mercy, please don't take me away. Let me see sunshine where I only see gray. My past got a hold on me that can't be denied, and the changes didn't come easily. I've been lonely, I've been cheated, I've been misunderstood, I've been washed up, I've been put down, told I'm no good. But when you I belong, you help me be strong. There's a change in my life since you came along. Oh, 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 oh. I don't mind working so hard every day, and I don't pay no mind to what people say. Cause after all of the pain I've been through, I give up everything just to love only you. All my life I walked with my hand bent in shame, but now that I've found you, with you I remain. Don't you know I've been lonely, I've been cheated, I've been misunderstood, I've been washed up, I've been put down, told I'm no good. But when you I belong, you help me be strong. There's a change in my life since you came along. Oh, 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 oh. Now a man gets weary when his life is all wrong, and a heart gets heavy when it doesn't belong. When the road gets rocky, you've got to be strong. Let the new light come shining all through. Don't you know I've been lonely, I've been cheated, I've been misunderstood, I've been washed up, I've been put down, told I'm no good. But when you I belong, you help me be strong. There's a change in my life since you came along. I've been lonely, I've been cheated, I've been misunderstood, I've been washed up, I've been put down, told I'm no good. But with you I belong. Oh, there's a change in my life now that you came along. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you. Wait, what did I say? Thank you. All right, man, I am a little off today, buddy.
My God,
I'm
for
a
Eric.
little off. All right, let's hit a couple of things. Eric says, "Get it, brother. You are killing it. Awesome song."
Thank you.
All right, so the last couple of days we were tackling the
Wait, how did that make you feel, bro? Come on, man.
that song.
Listen, I'm singing that and I'm thinking about you because I know you go back and forth with things and you question, not saying you question God, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or anything.
No, I don't question. I question religion. I question all the so-called scripture
but
that
that's
we were
not
raised
scripture.
with.
That's not religion. How did that song make you feel? Like, you know, we start going right back into it. It's like, wait a minute, let's sit for that for a second. Like, I was feeling so great just hearing it and singing it and thinking about, man, like there really is a change. I feel okay. Think about the lyrics, like I don't mind working so hard every day. I don't pay any mind to what people say because after all the pain I've been through, I give up everything to love only you. Like, how can we gloss by that? That's important stuff, man.
You know,
so how does that make you feel when you hear that?
All right. Well, I was enjoying the song as much as I can enjoy the song, and I have to apologize because, and this goes back to even radio, I never listened to the music the way everybody else was listening to because half my brain or more was focused on, whatever. What are we going to be talking about next? What's our angle?
And I understand that.
But you did notice I was sitting back. I wasn't sitting up here on the computer like this. I was sitting back here like this.
Yes.
So I can enjoy it, but it's almost like listening with a half an ear. So I'm listening more to the rhythm and the melody and your voice more than the details of the lyrics.
Okay, but so I just gave you the lyrics.
So give me those lyrics again.
Standing cold and scared on top of Blue Hill, there came one moment that I lost my will. I lost my will. I pray for mercy. Please don't take me away. Let me see sunshine where I only see gray. My past got a hold on me. I can't be denied. And the changes didn't come easily. I've been lonely. I've been cheated. I've been misunderstood. I've been washed up. I've been put down and told I'm no good. But with you, I belong. We talked about being separate, being alone, but with you I belong because you helped me be strong. There's change in my life since you came along. Let's talk about that. What do you, when you hear that, talk to me.
All right, so it would have registered as a romantic thing, but knowing what you and Eric were talking about, I'm assuming it was either God came into your life or Jesus came into your life, right?
I'm talking about you.
Or me?
Yeah, just like, what do you hear that when you know that's what it is? How do you feel?
I feel filled with hope. And that there is somebody that you're not doing this alone.
Do you relate? Do you feel like
people
past got a hold on you? Okay. And then we go, I don't mind working so hard every day. I don't pay no mind to what people say. Because after all the pain I've been through, I give up everything to love only you. How do you feel when you hear that? What are those links? Do you relate?
Well, I relate to the first part.
I don't mind working hard every day.
Yeah,
don't mind what people. Okay.
And the loving only you. That when I hear that stuff in songs, over my life, now it's going to sound a little weird, because if we're talking romantically with my wife, it makes perfect sense.
Wait a minute.
But
wait a minute, you were talking to voice, and that doesn't make you feel that way all the time.
Well, it's also because I'm doing multiple things at once. You get a something that pops up on your screen that you have to read while you're also thinking at the same time.
But we're talking about like, come on, man, like we're not talking about that doesn't make you feel all the time. Come on, I'm talking about that doesn't make you feel great all the time. It doesn't. It's impossible when someone's yelling at you. Like, it doesn't. I'm talking about that. The idea of having an entity, for me, it's my kids. Could be Joey. Could be, I'm saying something that is always constantly giving you peace and serenity. That's
okay. I don't have that.
Okay. So I say to you,
to talk myself into that.
Okay. Now, this is a long thing. We talk about, did you ever see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Was that horrible last one they did?
You said
no, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Sean Connery.
I was thinking the Glass Skulls one. That was horrible.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember that. I know what you're talking about. So yes, Sean Connery.
Yes, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that.
Do you remember the scene where he sticks his leg up and it's just a big empty, like the door's all the way across the way, and he just steps out
over a ravine.
And there's nothing there, and he steps out, and it's like, whoa.
And then there's something there.
And that's faith.
Right.
So you can't see it. You can't see the wind, but you know it's there.
I can feel it.
You feel it. Okay. So the times when we talk about, like, when you pull up to when you get a parking spot and it's just there, you're in rhythm and you're feeling good. You feel that.
We call that princess parking.
Okay. So that, like, when you're with your dogs, when everything feels good, like that serenity, you're by yourself and you feel okay. That is what I mean. That sense of, like, the things have been so rough for you at times and you always seem to be okay. You always seem to make it out no matter what. You seem to be okay. You land on your feet. We've all dealt with that. And you take that breath, you're like, hey, like, you've got support systems. You got a guy like Cords that comes in, you got Eric that comes in, you got me that comes in, you got these people who are giving their time. Like, what if we talk about everything being God? Like, what if that is all the positives of life? And so I say to you, man, like, I understand it's difficult because I don't know what you went through, but I've seen your brother's posts as well. Like the Fisher boys, all of you guys have the same kind of thing, questioning. So I'm not denying any of that. I'm not ever.
Now, where are you going with? Are you trying to be like, hey man, just get God back in your life and you'll be fine?
What I'm going to you is, you say you don't feel that peace and you don't feel that energy, and all I'm saying is to me, I'm trying to make you understand what I think me, Eric, other people who are believers or whatever you want to title us, that idea of God, not so much in a religious sense. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking just even that moment. I'm talking about the other day when I said, hey, trust me. And I said, put the picture up of the kids holding hands, and I played One Love. Like that voice, it was positive. I'm talking about the positive, something that's always feels good. The moment when you're like, I feel like buying my wife flowers, or I feel like doing, like, you know, those positive things. I just want you to focus going forward when you have those moments of the positive aspects of life. Start to maybe ask yourself and think that the good stuff, maybe it's God, maybe that's the God, maybe that's God, maybe.
Okay,
that's all.
I can't. I've been down that path.
By saying I can't,
I've been down that path a trillion times.
By saying I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't.
Okay, then I say this to you. If you are refusing, you're saying I won't do it. You're saying
I've done it. I'm done with it.
Okay, and I'm just saying this to you. If you are making that statement, then I fear that you will stay in this torment, in this life that's so short, and I don't wish that for you. And I just say the other side of it, saying the other side.
I thank God multiple times a day.
Okay.
I commune with whatever it is I think I believe in multiple times a day. But when we go down this path, then I'm going to have to start listening to you or Eric or my mom or whoever, start bringing out scriptures about this is a fundamental truth and this is a fundamental truth. And I'm going to have to sit there and go, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. I would say to you, I didn't bring any scriptures out. I would say to you, I asked questions of the moments when you said, like, hey, well, the parking lot's in, or the good feelings you have, the moments you have good thoughts.
I'm feeling good. I mean,
okay.
Things have never been better right now.
And then I said to you, maybe, if you can go back and watch this, and anyone else can say it, I wasn't saying this is it. I said, maybe you can start giving that idea to that could be what God is, only so you have something to reference, because you are going back and forth. And by focusing on something positive and saying this is good, that God, good God, whatever, and that could bring you a level of peace. You're going to walk your walk and walk your path. I walk out this door, I may not see you. I'm only saying in that I'm hoping for you to not have the back and forth and the anguish, because I don't have it. I am not pushing, throwing. This is the first time we've ever done that. All I said is, hey, I didn't want to gloss over that, because sometimes in National Daylight Appreciation Day, I'm just saying about appreciation and seeing more. If anyone else thinks or agrees with me, maybe because, as you said, Eric and I both were talking about only weighing yourself once a week, two people of the same set, then you're like, okay, I believe that, and you started reading. So here are people who are giving their lives, their time to us, maybe to as well. If someone else that you appreciate, which we appreciate you, read something, you can read it and start to maybe believe, because at the end of the day, we're talking about just thinking on positivity. I'm not trying to ram anything down your throat. I've been saying this every single day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that you want the best for me.
Okay. Thanks. That's awesome. Because I do.
And so that I do appreciate. Cool. The going down this path, you might get a little passionate thinking that I'm not giving it a chance. And I will even get more passionate going, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. God, to me, if there is such an entity to even describe as God, is more than what people think. And from your perspective, from what I understand, God is love. And so the things that are the opposite of that, see, you have to, because then I have to go back and re-explore that everything is either good or evil. It's either of God or it's of Satan. And I'm sorry, I've spent decades there, and I can't imagine there would be ever be anything that it would have me go down that path again. God is much bigger than that.
And I say to you, man, I learned this from you in some of our conversations. We were talking about healing, and you're saying it's like going down to some of those scabs and reopening some of the. I still remember the conversation. It was years ago we talked about this, and you're shaking your head because you remember. And I held on to that, and it made sense. And sometimes it's as painful it is. Sometimes we have to go back to our past, which is still just now because we're thinking about it now, and you can see it from a different pair of lenses. That's why they have EMDR therapy. That's why they have different therapies to go back. They have hypnotherapy to go back and find out so you can make it okay. And so at 46, and here I am now saying something that's not like what you've heard before. I'm not ramming anything or cramming anything down. I just kept saying the possibility of maybe and possible of that. And maybe let's say if you went back and re-examined some of those moments back in your past with that mindset, what if it gave you a different outcome? Just saying what if, and at the end
I appreciate your rhetoricals. They do nothing for me.
Okay.
And all those what ifs I've already done a trillion times over and over and over again.
So
I'm actually in a really good place right now. I've been getting nothing but, like, the universe is sending me signals, as far as God is sending me signals going, good job, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm getting nothing. This is just recently too, over the last few weeks, comments just out of nowhere. Over and over again, from James Golden, you're one of your father figures, and others that are just pulling me aside just to talk about my voice, just the sound of my voice and why I'm not doing voice. How could I not be doing voiceover work and conversation after conversation after conversation is completely random. Tuesday night, some guy I don't even know comes up to me. He goes, man, I walked into here, and this was my gig on Tuesday night, Boulevard Burgers. And he goes, all of a sudden, I thought the NFL Films guy was here. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a huge compliment. That guy's been dead for a while, but that is a huge compliment. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
And he starts talking to me and talking. You go, man, you really should be doing voiceover, because he's seeing me as some trivia guy sitting in the corner, which that's exactly what I was. And he's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I did radio for 25 years. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you already know. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is coming at the perfect time. Earlier that day, Danielle calls me and gives me, and I'm on the phone with her in tears because of what she's saying to me.
Right.
And so, Chris, what I'm taking from what you just said. And from what is happening to me over the past few weeks is that it seems like everybody's pulling for me.
Yes.
All right. Everybody wants the best for me.
And I think, and you question it, and all I said is, to me, that is God. That is everyone acting and doing whatever positive things, because that's the ultimate. That's pulling for you as well.
Then you keep having that influence on me. You keep showing me Christ through you. Show me God through you. Please do not tell me. Don't give me any suggestions on how. Maybe if you did this, if you were to do that, if you were to do this, because then you and I are going to have a relationship that my mother and I had 10, 15 years ago, where I couldn't have a conversation because everything came back to, well, if you just had Christ in your life, well, if you just accept Jesus back in your life.
Okay, I just remember, if you are questioning it, I said maybe. I say just the option to give you options. I don't ever tell anyone exactly what it is, because I don't know all the answers. All I know is that I have a very extreme happiness, and a lot of people like to listen to me say certain things, and I discredit it to that. And so I was just saying maybe, and then I was talking about maybe going back to the past and revisiting some things from a different vantage point.
I'm
and
good.
If you feel you're good, then awesome, man.
No, I'm so excited about now. I'm so excited about now and about the future. I've been living in the past for years, all right? Or I lived in the past for years, and I'm out. I'm feeling good. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I feel like I'm on to something. And so to me, to even go back down that path would to undo so many things. So Michael says, at very least, subscribe to this. All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Imagine if everyone did this. All right. All right, real quickly, let's see here. We technically could wrap right now, but just a couple things before we do. We're not going to spend too much time on the conversations that we've been having the last couple of days, but I think we all feel better about whatever, and I don't care You can talk about hypocrisy. You can talk about he said this or that. The fact is, they're going to stop separating these families. That's what was the most important thing for right now was for me. I don't know about anybody else. So that's stopping. The other stuff, I don't know. I don't have any answers for, but at least they're not going to be separating the kids anymore. Going out to Pride this weekend. I'm going to be on a float. And so my wife sent me this article earlier today, and it has to do with a threat that's been made against the St. Pete Pride Festival, which is brought to the attention of the authorities. Here we go. Post by a user on Facebook who goes by the alias Jim Hutmaster states, I am calling in my sniper friends. These F words must, and talking about FA word, must be eradicated much like cockroaches now. The individual posted several similar posts to news stories about St. Pete's Pride Festival, which takes place this weekend. So they're on that. And I thought about that last year, Chris. Are you not listening?
Every single atrocity that happens, no one gives a heads up about it. And so I don't believe in this. And so I'm not going to give any more energy to it. And I think it's a shame on us to even give this guy any power. That's just my thoughts.
It's a shame that I gave this guy power.
Yep. I said we. Notice I didn't hang you out there. I said we because this is still my show too.
I didn't hear you say we. I thought you said me.
No, I said we. I speak French a lot.
Ding. Yeah, I thought about this last year too. Because I guess this was 2 years ago or right after a Pulse, and you're wondering too. And St. Petersburg is a hotbed. And you're wondering if there ever is going to be a year where somebody tries to pull off something like this. But also when you see this, it makes you wonder where the hate comes from. And if this person deep down inside themselves, and I know this is a psychological thing because a lot of these guys are disturbed, and I have, and a lot of psychologists say that people like this, they likely have some kind of tendencies themselves, homosexual or otherwise, and have had to keep them at bay since childhood because of wherever they came from. And so that anger just builds throughout the years. But I don't know. Let's see. It looks like Jameis Winston will likely be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. And the Tampa Bay Times beat reporter Rick Stroud says he isn't buying an ESPN report that any suspension levied against the Bucs quarterback would stem from Winston's failure to report an alleged incident because this is allegedly what's going to happen is he didn't report what had went down. He's not going to be found guilty of anything by law, but the NFL standards are a little bit different. So the reports out of ESPN were saying that he's likely going to be suspended for 3 days, and for that, rather, Stroud wrote on Twitter, a suspension would be the result of Winston's actions in the car being found in violation of the league's broad personal conduct policy, is what he thinks it's going to be. So we'll see if that comes out, what that will be. And lastly, you can take off your headphones now. Here you go, Chris. Turn your attention to one of your favorite things on the big screen here.
I looked up and saw a snake. I'm not even doing that at all. I'm scared of the death of snakes. No way.
This is a story.
My toes just curled up thinking about it, man.
This is a story about a snake who slithers up a woman's leg while she's driving. She gets over to the side of the road, calls the cops. The cops come. And the snake gets loose again inside the cop car. And they finally get the thing and release it into the wild. But that being said, I was going to use that story because, first of all, I know that Chris is not the biggest fan of snakes. But secondly, there's a big-ass snake living in our yard. Well, okay, it's big enough. It's bigger than our dogs, so it makes you a little bit nervous. Oh, I didn't put it in that. Never mind, I'll show it to you. It's a rat snake. And so I was happy. I was proud because my wife saw it first, and she had the shovel. And I went, she's going to kill it. Because she's going to think of the dogs first. But she took a picture. She put it online. She found out it was a snake that you want around, a rat snake, or a corn snake. I'm sorry, corn snake. And did not kill it. I was very proud of my wife. I thought for sure she was going to go, screw it. I don't want that thing in the background. It's bigger than Joey is. Whack, whack, whack. And she did not. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap things then. You want to play another song?
Man. Oh, the snakes are the worst, man.
What? Snakes are the worst?
They're the worst. Oh, geez. Man, I had one the other day. I can't even tell the story.
Would you rather have well, I guess I'd already know the answer to that question. What are your thoughts on spiders?
You
okay with spiders?
Yeah, there's some. I wish there was a chance, like a way that you guys could feel my heart pounding a little bit more. Just the thought of them, I can't, man. They really get me. Oh wait, I got a cool idea. Let's do this. So this song that I've been feeling, instead of me playing, I'll just play this. It's like a 2-minute song. It's really quick. The band's called McCarty. I became friends with them just recently. They're signed to Timbaland's new album label. So check out the song's called Nah. I'm just gonna play it in the head like this. It's so good, man.
Is it a copyrighted song though?
Yeah.
Because they'll flag us on Facebook and YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
It's not on YouTube. It's just on iTunes.
Well, they have the listening device. Yeah, like I played music before.
Serious?
That's
whack.
Remember that day that we pulled up karaoke for Johnny
on YouTube? Right?
No. I pulled up karaoke just for my karaoke stuff, and
you got flagged for that?
Yeah.
That's so whack.
Well, they got the as soon as you play a couple of bars, it's like Shazam. They've got the Shazam technology. So as soon as you
crazy,
it'll flag us. But you know, we could add music into the show even more than what you're doing, because Facebook has their own catalog for I think for shows like ours. So if we wanted to, if we had a music director wanted to go and listen to all the music that Facebook has to offer that we'd be allowed to use, then you go ahead. What's that? You good?
I did 2 songs.
All right. Well, I'm good with it. Where are we now? What happened? Oh, there you are. Hey. All right. And
I'll be in Dunedin tonight at Kelly's at 7 o'clock. So if anyone wants to go out to Dunedin at 7 o'clock, do it. Live your life. Don't be scared, man. You can't. We all go at some point. You got to live your life, man. You got to live your life.
And so if you want to take some risks with me tonight, I'll be doing trivia on St. Pete Beach, 7 o'clock. Come on out. I'll be slinging trivia for an hour and a half at Masters.
Slinging that trivia.
You gotta separate. You gotta somehow separate yourself from the others. So I sling trivia like a ninja. Hey, and thank you so much, Chris, for carrying the show today, and for you guys carrying the show. Man, I was just absolutely off. I'm going to blame it 100% on this.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to blame it on this keto diet.
Off. Yo, dude. No. How about this? I was even telling. I was, a very close friend of mine. I was like, man, I'm a little slow today, and sometimes you get some days are like that. It's not a big deal. But I didn't think you were off.
Oh, thank you.
Everything was fine.
You're probably right. All right, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate the likes, the shares, the engagements, and you have a wonderful Thursday. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. Oh, tomorrow will be. They say that politics is local, and tomorrow I already taped an interview earlier in the week with a gentleman who is running for some Hillsborough County something District 7, and it was a fun conversation with getting to know the guy. And he had his daughter with him, so I grabbed his daughter and put her on mic as well. She's become his campaign manager.
How old is his daughter?
She looks like she's in her 30s.
Oh, okay.
And he was talking about, all these great things about her and why she's a great campaign manager. And I go, I go, tell me the truth. It's because she knows social media and you don't. You need somebody on social media. Because that's exactly it. So anyway, yeah.
Did he agree? That's awesome. I hope me and my daughter get to do some stuff like that. Me and my kids. That'd be awesome.
So yeah, his name is Ray Sharamonte. Ray Sharamonte. Been in public service for over 35 years, and he is running for some Hillsborough County Commission seat, District 7.
That old Ray.
All right.
Love Ray.
Well, the funny thing, Chris, as soon as they come in and I'm getting ready to hit record, they're not arguing. They're telling me how to pronounce their last name. Okay, they have the same. Well, she's married. She doesn't have the same last name anymore. Right. He's going, this is how you say my last name. She's like, no, it's not. You say it like this.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
And I was like, so as soon as we start that, I'm like, what the hell are you guys are arguing over how to say your last name?
That's cool.
And then she's like,
her dad out.
She goes,
he's trying to be different.
She's like, we're Italian, and my dad is obsessed with Italy. So he wants to pronounce Chiaramonte.
Yeah. She's like, come on, Dad. We're not that cool. That's cool.
She's like, it's Chermont. Dad.
Oh, that's cute, man.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We love you. We appreciate the support. And that'll be tomorrow on the Wake.Show. Have a great day. What? Have a great day.